moles. So we'll see how safe or risky they play it here. I think MR is going to play a little safe. I know he usually does in competition here. I don't know too much about Climatee's play style on Moo Farm. That's definitely the interesting one.
Yeah, I haven't caught one of Climatee's matches yet, but I mean, he's still at a very high level. I think he's ranked 12th overall.
Oh, yeah, obviously. I mean,
overall.
Everybody in Division 1 is very good. So we have Climatee here has about a 2-second delayed start. So, okay, Matthias going very safe. Climatee, ooh, he barely missed that mole there. But looks like Climatee with the early lead.
Pretty similar. Both of them been fairly safe there, so for their standards, like even any other competition, that's pretty risky us going through there. But
yeah, for sure. Well, they speak the mole. They knew they were safe.
That's right. Yeah, so they're pretty much both on track. Both going to finish around the same time. Mattias just bonking the wall there a little bit at the end.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And, this one is going to go over to Climatee. Nice. Well done. Well done. So let me move this over here. All right, we're going to head to KD.
That's a nice little confidence boost for Climatee.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely shows anybody in Division 1 can certainly win a track.
Yeah, especially against the Mario Kart champ for the last 7 years to pinch his track early on. That's really good confidence boost for him.
Absolutely. So we'll see. So the interesting one for Calamari Desert, we'll see how aggressively they take these shrooms. You know, that's kind of can be the difference maker here. Is how tight are you hugging that wall and risking bonking to try and save a little bit of time?
Yeah.
I expect them to probably both go with the shroom strat of using it right after the start.
Yep. Yeah, their shroom stat for their one tries will be different to what they'd probably be going for. Matthias would be going for world records, and Climate would be going for PRs. I imagine.
Well, looks like they are not going. Okay, they're going to do
they'll do a 1-1-1, I think.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they usually do the double hop along here at the start, without needing that shroom. So that's pretty. I think that's pretty standard for them in most, even in one try.
You're right. I was thinking.
That's probably more what our level div.
Yeah.
Probably do. Yeah.
Climatee with the early lead. They're not by too much. Definitely close, but it's like 0.1 lead.
Good hill hops by both of them still again.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Pretty quality. It'd be interesting to see on the NTSC whether they're too fast. Oh, they're both not going for the second shroom, so they might even save the third shroom for after the train on the third lap.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see what their pace is coming to this train, whether it's in their road or not. So,
ooh, driving off there. That cost him. That was a 0.3 deficit.
Yeah. Both of them doing the train pretty well. They're right on neck and neck here, so this will come.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will come down to who has the better shrooms, I reckon.
And Matthias.
That's a big rip.
Well, that's all right. I mean, feel a little bit of a rough go here.
Yeah.
So nice.
So Matthias just saying that he oversteered just a little bit into the train there. So you can't do much about that. it is what it is. He's just had to rely on Climatee to do the exact same thing, but
yeah, I mean, all right, looks like we are headed to Wario Stadium. Definitely, it's continuing to be interesting here. Again, it'll be interesting to see, how this goes. Definitely a long track with that rewards risky behavior, keeping tight to those walls, but there are definitely spots where little, oversteers like we just saw from Matthias can certainly cause issues.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive they go with the shrooms. Matthias being two points down in the set, and whether he goes with a fairly aggressive shroom. So
yeah.
So he hasn't been playing NTSC much at all, I don't think, Matthias. So
yeah, no, he's been doing a lot of trying to stay that number one seed, that number one spot.
Yeah.
So he's been, like I said, he's been grinding a lot of Sherbertland.
Trying to get some of those world records back. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Climatee is a little bit ahead, just off the sinking, but not too much. So it's going to be pretty close here.
Yeah. I think Matthias definitely would have played Climatee on Powell when they did their first round of matches on this, and I'd say I can only assume he would have won by a fair margin because
I think he did.
On this track he's quite significantly better than most other players.
Right.
By a second or two, I assume. So good flip flop, MTs, Climatee just bonking the wall there.
Yeah, that's definitely, it's going to cost him a little bit. So it's fairly close. Climatee was a little bit ahead on the sinking, maybe 0.3, 0.5 kind of thing.
Yep.
So let's see here. When they played the first time, Matthias won 3-0 in sets. I don't know the set score. Matthias is definitely pulling away here. Yeah. I mean, he's got a 0.8 lead right now, so definitely. Yeah. I definitely always say it isn't a match until both players win a track. That's when the real stuff starts.
So, obviously, Matthias probably would have done a little bit of practice probably this evening for him, but looked like he's actually playing NTSC very well, being the champ. And Climatee's...
Yeah.
Oh, he bumps. Yeah, that was
risky. Okay, so now Matthias just basically has to drive, pretty clean. But yeah, that shroom is definitely one of the more dangerous shrooms in all the 16 tracks, I would say. You get a little close to that wall and just losing all your speed there.
Yeah. So whether or not he knew he was behind, and just went more aggressive, or whether it was just a
slight, just a bit of an oversteer.
Yep.
But yeah, this is definitely, like I said, Matthias just basically has to avoid any catastrophic errors here. So we'll take this last lap here to kind of talk a little bit about what are these shortcut and flap jokers. So once during the match, each player gets to use a joker. So shortcut, meaning that rather than doing our standard non-shortcut route, they get to pick the track and they get to do shortcut. Now, the great thing about the shortcut joker is it doesn't abide by the rules that are in place for track picking. So the way the tracks work is the same track can't be played in the same set unless it's using the shortcut joker, and players pick from their own pools that reset every 2 sets. So Matthias won't be able to pick Moo Moo Farm or Wario Stadium next set. But Climatee can pick those tracks, and then they all get, going into set 3, they get all their tracks back.
Yep. So as you can see, Climatee just trying to get that extra MT after the little jump there to try and gain some time back, but yeah, not for much advantage to him, but yeah.
So that's what the shortcut allows, and the flap, it just means they do 1 lap first lap. So it looks like we're gonna head to Royal Raceway here. Pretty easy win there for Matthias with that pretty catastrophic error. Though,
although even though he did bonk on that second lap, he had some pretty there. So
absolutely,
it was still a quick lap. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly be happy with that.
Yeah, but as you can see, Matthias well over half a second. Even more.
Yeah, you know, the Matthias's worst lap here was better than Climatee's cleanest lap, so it was definitely a good pick for Matthias getting on the board. Which is, like I said,
which is interesting why he went with Moo Farm first. So I was wondering why he wouldn't just trust his instincts in going with Warrior Stadium, but
I don't know. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. So, like I said, we're heading over to Royal Raceway. Definitely, I would say probably my favorite track to drive. I really enjoy this track. It's got a lot of good and interesting MT locations. The shrooms, a lot of fun. So I'll be interested to see as well how many MTs they go for on the runway. And things. So yeah, should be good.
It's just kissing the grass, but Climatee getting the grass a lot more. So
yeah, and definitely didn't get as clean MT. Like he had that kind of bad start we've often had. That's an instant reset. But so in Climatee also with about a 2-second delay here. So we'll definitely have to see what the time is going in. Both with pretty clean shrooms.
Yep.
All right, both going pretty standard with the 2 MTs. I've seen people try to squeeze on the third.
Yeah, very nice. Very clean sections there by both.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely, again, so 0.15 lead for Matthias here coming into lap 2. As always, this hairpin here is a Matthias taking it pretty clean. Climatee a little bit wider there.
Climatee missing the MT after the hairpin jump, so that'll set him back a fair bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty important MT to get that if you don't get the hairpin MT afterwards. So yeah, I imagine that'll cost him a couple of hundreds for sure.
Right, that's definitely probably one of the more important MTs.
Yeah, maybe getting a few wall bonks on that ramp too. So
yeah.
Looks like he didn't get that one as well, maybe, but missing a couple there in that last section as well. So
yeah, so 0.4, so that brings it up to a half-second lead for Matthias here. Very clean hairpins from both of them. Let's see here. Matthias is clear. Okay, so definitely, basically, Climatee needs kind of a mishap on right at the end. If Matthias is a little wide there, you can throw off that second to last turn, really, where you cut across the grass.
Yep. But Matthias being Matthias, I don't think he will.
I mean, sure, but it's definitely
pretty good. That's a pretty good time. 2:24.04.
Was that a?
He might be using a second cart, so I'm not 100% sure whether that's
right. I'm gonna message and find out if that's an NTSC PR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be. So it sounds like we're going to go to Banshee Boardwalk next. Always an interesting one. Like I said, I mean, this is one in the One Try League to see how much of people are going to cut. The world record level strats is you're landing on basically nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, they generally played a little bit safer. Tracks like this, you won't see super aggressive jumps. But I think Dan had a time in Matthias's match where he was only 0.2 or 0.3 off world record, which is an unbelievably crazy time.
Yeah, that's insane in a one try.
Yeah, like I think actually the time he got a month earlier it would have been world record. So
yeah, I do remember hearing about that.
so the players definitely do go very aggressive, and that just goes back on Dan, how aggressive Dan is. So
yeah. All right, so again, about a 2-second delay here for Climatee. And that double MT around the S bend there, I can't wait for that level of skill.
I can get it. Mine's sloppy, so not nearly as good as these guys.
For me, it's risky, and
Yeah. So Climatee a little bit wide in the bat house there, so I think he'll be maybe just a fraction behind. 34.94 versus 39.29.
0.3 behind. I will say, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he falls.
And he's.
He DQs himself. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But he might just finish. I think he's just going to finish off.
Yeah.
Nah, he's doing some swag stuff. What are we doing here?
Ooh. MR with a bonk at a. All right, so we will go ahead. I assume Matthias is gonna finish this out before I give him the point here. And that was definitely, an unfortunate error there for Climatee, like with MR's bonk going into the bat house on lap 2. That definitely was a chance where.
Close it up a bit, yeah.
All right, so Matthias takes that track.
Yeah, as you can see, that 35.36, so 0.4. Yeah, definitely could have been Climatee's opening. So.
Chuckle Mountain.
Nice. Yeah, CV. Imagine Climatee pulling off a shortcut on Banshee Boardwalk 2 to 1 try.
For sure, that would be hype. I mean, we'll see how long until Forest breaks Banshee Boardwalk.
Yeah.
He's broken basically every other track in the game. So
Matthias one game win away of taking the set after losing
down
the first
0-2.
track. Yeah. So he's definitely come back. I think he just had to find his rhythm a bit, and now he's set and ready to go.
Yeah,
so.
I'm guessing it was a little bit of just gearing up to playing at the NTSC speeds.
Yep.
So Chuckle Mountain again is still an interesting one. Those walls eat you. I mean, it doesn't take much to just hit that wall wrong and you're spinning in the air. So
yeah.
This game has a pretty nasty setup with angled walls.
Yeah. Some walls are worse than others. Some you'll actually literally get eaten into the wall, half your card will disappear into the wall, and others you'll just clip a little bit and slow you right down. But yeah, some are definitely worse than others for sure.
Right. Ooh, Matthias here. I was gonna say the worst is this little point that sticks out on the right before the tunnel is the one that definitely messes you up.
Yeah.
Matthias with a.
Oh, and you can see Climate get eaten by the wall too. So
yeah,
real sloppy by both players for a start.
Yeah, not the cleanest track here.
Yep.
Definitely, I would say the wall that probably eats more people than any other is that the wall on Yoshi, the wall on Yoshi Valley right before the
the spines.
right after you drop down and there's those 4 spinies. I get eaten by that wall all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
so,
let's hear.
So Matthias had the fall at the start of the race, but Climatee's just made many more mistakes, and he's already a second and a bit behind. So
yeah. So, and this is always interesting when you're on a timing like this that you're not familiar with, right? Neither of them are familiar with these pace.
And Climatee getting in again.
Yeah. You're not really sure with the rocks here, so I mean that's kind of how Calamity could get back in this is if Matthias accidentally gets smushed by a boulder because he doesn't know the timings like he normally would.
Yeah. But
Well, it looks like Matthias is through clean, and he just needs to avoid being eaten by the wall.
Yep. It's the only thing that'll save Climatee here is, but yeah, does it easy. So pretty
Alright.
good from the start Matthias had to how he finished. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty dominant win there. Climatee just... That lap 1 was pretty rough.
By both players.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to head on to the Snowland. Hey, Dowsey, do you want to build a snowman with me?
Love to.
Absolutely
love to.
So
I've never been to the snow, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you seen snow before? Like, do you get snow down in Aussie land?
I've seen the ice in my freezer. That's about as close as I've got.
I mean, I'm sure if you guys got threat of snow, your entire town would probably shut down.
Probably. Oh, we've got it snow like a couple of times, but not enough to blanket the ground. So yeah, we're definitely dry, no snow areas where we are for sure.
So this is one of those tracks. I mean, this is again one of my favorite tracks, and it's a pretty high variance shroom to see how well they come off the jump and weave through the snowman, and we'll see how risky they take that line.
Yep.
Both with the AB spin start.
It's pretty standard amongst these players. You might see some Division 2 players do an AB spin start, but...
I would say Climatee got a little bit cleaner there, but
yeah.
both. I think both of the, you'd be happy with a
a
little bonk there for Matthias.
That's way better than what we'd be doing. Yeah, they'd definitely be going through those two snowmen.
Yeah, that's the world record strat. And Matthias with about a 0.4 deficit there. That, like I said, his shroom was a little less clean, and that wall bonk in the cave, both those things, kind of where his time loss was.
Yep. So both playing it a little bit safe. Matthias very close to that snowman then.
Yeah.
So.
I would say Matthias got the better of that lap so far. I would expect him to make up a little time here, but I don't know if it was enough. Yeah, so he made up 0.15, but so he's still down by about 0.25 here. So
Climatee just kissing the snow a little bit there. So that's his chance to just peg it back a little bit more. Matthias also hitting the snow. Pretty decent shroom. Does he go through? Yeah, standard goes through.
Both go through. Oh man, if that was again Matthias's shroom there. If Climatee had gone wide, that was definitely Matthias's. I think it's gonna be pretty close.
Matthias getting very tight lines there, so it's gonna be really close.
See? Oh, 0.06.
Yeah. So not quite
win.
enough. Yeah.
Nice win. All right. Well, let's get those Abney Thwomps out and about, chat, because we have Bowser Castle next.
Yep. So Matthias taking the set. So that's pretty good, 4 in a row after being 2 zip down. Very good by Matthias.
Climatee took that track.
Oh, sorry, Climatee, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already won the set, haven't we?
yeah. We're on set 2 now, and Climatee.
Oh, that's showing how early it is for me, I suppose.
Yeah, for those that aren't aware, Dowsey was kind enough to get up at 6 a.m. That's his commitment to the Mario Kart community here. Good on you, man. Good on you.
I'm usually up somewhat around this time anyway, so it's not that big a deal. I just didn't go to bed at 2 a.m. like I usually do.
That's thinking ahead. Now you're thinking with Portal. All right, both going with the safer shroom, going outside of that first bush.
Oh, Matthias hitting the thwomp, so cycles are going to be way out for him now. Then, as you can see, you hit one thwomp, you hit them all. So
Yeah, because it definitely just changes all of your timing. You just don't know anymore.
I think Matthias probably would have known that he wanted to get a quicker start, or else that thwomp was going to be in his path, but just couldn't get off quick enough. So
well,
yeah,
so this is definitely Climatee's race to lose here, but I mean he's certainly, as always with this, you can lose it.
So Matthias throwing in a heap of MTs to try and catch up this time.
I mean, I don't think with two thwomp hits, I don't think you're gonna catch up without an error from Climatee at all.
But maybe he's banking on Climatee just getting one thwomp hit and he can pick it back a little bit. But
yeah, that might be enough. Though Climatee again continuing to drive quite clean.
Yeah, he's throwing in lots and lots of MTs, trying to make that time back up.
Right. Climatee, if he had gotten caught in that corner, that could have been the. All right, basically only falling to the left here and getting stuck behind that wall is about it. But nope, looks like.
So he did make up a bit of time back, Matthias. There, that's for two thwomp hits.
Yeah, it's good showing. Here,
yeah.
I will be right back.
No problem. So as you can see by Matthias's lap 2 and 3 times, 37.41 and 37.04, throwing in those extra MTs gained him about 0.3. As you can see, Climatee's got a 91 and a 34, so much more aggressive on those last couple of laps by Matthias. So but not enough to peg back the deficit of 2 thwomp hits. That's generally pretty catastrophic. So, and we're getting taken to Luigi Raceway by Climatee. Very low variance track. There's just going to be, it's pretty much a MT spam fest. Going around the bends and just getting quality SSMTs. That's probably about the main thing. Probably the shroom as well. They'll go for a 1-2-0 shroom strat across the grass along the back section of the track. Maybe a wall bonk on that would probably be the only thing, the major mistakes you're going to see on this. But other than that, yeah, this is going to be a pretty low variance track for sure by both these players at the level that these guys have.
We're going to Luigi Raceway. Sorry about that. I am
good.
Watching the niece, and she needs to be put down for a nap. So she's getting a little feisty. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. My assumption is we're gonna just see some sort of 1-2-0 shroom setup here. I don't think they're gonna go for 3 mystery boosts.
No.
So for those that aren't aware, the way that this works is you'll see Matthias kind of taps the wall there right at the end of his shroom, and Climatee as well. It gives you a speed boost if you can hit a wall right at the end of your shroom, and so we call it the mystery boost. But my assumption is we're only going to see them going for 1. It's a pretty high risk, low reward play.
Yep. I mean, they don't even do it in world record attempts yet, so
right.
It's just a little bit too inconsistent.
Right.
But like very high risk.
All right, so Matthias with a small lead here. So Climatee definitely picked it back up a bit with that lap 2. I think Matthias did enough to, by 0.15.
So I was saying to the chat earlier, yeah, very low variance. It's going to be a pretty tight race because there's not a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, really the difference maker there was Climatee didn't get the same level of mystery boost.
Yep.
All right. So chat, if you need a drink or to use the restroom or anything, now is the time. We're headed to Rainbow Road. Now the nice thing here, at least, is it's on NTSC, so at least it's a minute faster. The PAL Rainbow Road is a bit of a slog. So the big thing here is definitely the Tran at the start is how good you want to. Unlike my childhood dreams of the biggest jump possible and jumping off, the best strat is actually to stay on the road as much as you can. So both players will be de-accelerating before the big hill at the start, and then doing a triple tap A strat to drive to try to zoom back and stay. So you get a good trend if they've got their speedometers up. They should be getting up to about 100 miles per hour. No, it's still in kilometers per hour, but they should be pushing that 100 just for a little bit. So let's see. So they'll slow down a little bit and then they'll triple tap. Matthias got a better Tran there. His jumped up to the 100 more than Climatee. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the big difference makers on this track. Like, yeah, there's a lot of MTs, there's a lot of like hugging the walls and doing that, but that transition, you can lose, a full second there if you have a bad Tran.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, generally a bad Tran's probably, maybe a little bit less, maybe half a second or something like that. But compared to a really good Tran, if you nail it, it's a major advantage.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that, the Tran. So a bad Tran versus what Matthias had there, that's probably close to a second. And while it is a 5-minute long track, a second is still a heap of time to try to make up.
Yeah. But the good thing about this track is you can make up that time. You've got, so it'll be 5 minutes on NTSC, so you've got a lot of time to be aggressive and pull it back lap by lap. So
for sure. And again, you still got 2 more Trans ahead of you where there. So both players playing pretty clean. So you will see on several of these spots. So like right now, both of them are just grinding out MTs as much as you can. So the biggest benefit you get from an MT is when you glide after it. But the problem is on tight turns like that, it's better to just stay as close to the wall as you can. Ooh, Climatee with... That's going to be tough. Needs Matthias to make a pretty big mistake here. So yeah, so there where Matthias hopped and did that, like I said, both of them with a not a very happy Tran there. That's I gotta say, this is a track I need to spend some time grinding, but it's also one. I hate that it's a 5-minute track that the Tran that comes at 2.5 and 3, whatever time in, 2.5 and 4 minutes in or so, can really just make or break your run. So Matthias continuing to drive safe, and that's really, again, that's what he's got to do here with that chain chomp hit. Barring a chain chomp hit from Matthias, it's going to be pretty tough for him to do enough to lose this. There isn't anything like Chuckle Mountain where you can get eaten by the wall or stuff. These are vertical walls, like I said, and here, rather than getting eaten by the wall and having all of your speed taken away from you, just kind of bounce off. Climatee playing with fire there.
Got to be aggressive though if he wants to make it back. So the only thing that's going to cost it is just lots of little mistakes for Matthias. So,
but even then, I mean, you're still talking close to 4 seconds is what a a chain chomp hit. And again, Matthias still has a shroom in the bag because Climatee had to use his to get back up to speed. So I mean, it's so.
And not getting the train as well, so that's pretty
that's
costly.
the kind of thing where you lose a solid second just driving so slow. Matthias definitely powering out those MTs, barely getting through lap 2. Like, close to the start of lap 1, he's already been told by the game you've done too many inputs, so he can't save his ghost. That's probably, you know, this and DKJP, the fact that you can't have a ghost at high levels is probably one of the things that's you know, unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, oof. All right. I mean, and there's only one more thwomp for Matthias to hit now. So I don't know what could happen, but all right. Matthias is clean. There are no more thwomps for the rest of the way, so he would have to basically fly off the track at this point.
Which I don't think there's many places you could do that.
Especially if you're not trying.
Going uphill, yeah.
Okay, the players have asked. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this one down for Matthias. Now, what is sad is Climatee still beats my PR by quite a bit with 2 thwomp hits.
Yes.
the difference being a top 12 player in the world makes. All right. Now, Luigi Raceway. This is probably this will tell you how a person is feeling. You know, how risky are they going? The shroom cut saves probably 0.3 per lap, 0.2, an easy 0.2. But whether or not you cut inside or outside the giant shroom, cutting outside is certainly the safe strat. But if somebody is willing to cut inside, it's a big time save on a short track.
Yeah. I think it saves a little bit more time. I think it'd be closer to a second doing that shroom cut and doing it well compared to going all the way around.
Really, I wouldn't think it would save that much, but maybe.
I have a feeling it's a bit more than that, but I could be wrong.
But certainly on the let's cut the middle ground and say at least a half a second. And so that's where if Climatee is feeling you know, a little frisky here, he can go for a triple shroom cut, and a good triple shroom cut will beat. Oh, so they both went for it. So if they're both saying they're going for it, Matthias clean. So this is basically what this track comes down to. Is at their level, it's certainly more than a coin flip, but
But he also for his shroom, he also kissed the wall at his shroom spot too. So he'd be quite a fair bit behind at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So Climatee really needing Matthias to get to you know, get hung up. Yeah, kissing the wall again there by Climatee.
So he needs a pretty major mistake by Matthias now.
It can happen though.
Yeah. Fair little mistake, but not enough.
I mean, that's at a one try level. That's the kind of shroom cut you expect.
Yeah.
So, all right, Matthias here at set point. Sorry, had a slight misfire there from 3. Sorry, just making sure both players are set here. All right. We are headed to Toad's Turnpike. I gotta say, Matthias is picking some longer and higher variance tracks. I'm surprised he's not sticking with some of the. Again, this is the kind of track where a slight error, you hit a truck, and that can make a big difference. But
yeah,
this is also one of Matthias's top 3 favorite tracks.
Yeah,
that was the mishap. Got it. So, waiting here.
He might just be playing this just to keep it a little more interesting, perhaps. Maybe I think that might be.
It's also one of Matthias's. So Matthias's favorite 3 tracks are Toad's Turnpike, Sherbertland, and Banshee Boardwalk. Those are his 3 favorite tracks. So it's just.
Yep.
I have no problem with someone saying I love this track, even if it's maybe not the smartest decision. Ooh, Matthias with certainly a worse start, getting on a much worse line. Small wall hit there for Climatee. But the early advantage here, it's tightened pretty close up. But again, so this is just like Rainbow Road, where it's a big turn, and so you'll see them jamming out as many MTs as they can.
Yep. And just a few SSMTs across this main straight here.
Yep.
So
staying clean. Matthias is certainly picked back up. That first big turn, he was much cleaner there.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely made back all that time of the, not a great start.
Generally with Toad's Turnpike, if both players usually have a clean race, it always comes down to the last turn when you get a big bunch of traffic right at the finish line. So,
Climatee getting spun way out there.
Yep.
So Matthias was down by 0.15. He made back a lot of that time, but that start certainly cost him. But now, Climatee back by looks about a half a second, so he's going to need a pretty clean lap 3 here in some minor errors. All right, so we'll see if they both shroom here, but when you've got different shroom strats, you can always get kind of out of sync. So does Matthias shroom here? All right, so Matthias has a shroom in pocket, and still had a faster lap 2. That lap 2 from Matthias was really nice.
Yeah.
So Climatee needs to drive really well, but also needs to see Matthias make a bit of an unforced error here.
Yep.
That first shroom of Climatee's was not ideal.
So yeah, it might come down to that traffic navigation right at the end.
Yeah, we'll see where...
big cluster of traffic coming up, so... Matthias knows he's in the lead. He could probably get through a bit safer, but...
Yeah,
super aggressive.
We'll see here.
Nah, easy.
Alright, both through clean.
Child's play for Matthias, that was nice.
Matthias, well done.
Although Climatee was not far away, actually, in the end.
No, that was quite close. Again, Matthias's lap 1. Ooh, here we go. All right. So, we get reset here. Starting off set 3. Climatee has used his Yoshi Valley shortcut joker.
It's a good pick. I know Matthias has been playing a little bit of shortcut stuff, but I mean, he's certainly no slouch on shortcut.
But I also think that this is a pick that, looking back, this is the shortcut Dan called against Matthias just last week, and Matthias had a bit of a struggle. So it is very possible that Climatee saw that, has been practicing it up, and came prepared, knowing this was going to be his shortcut pick.
Yep.
Oh, and to say shortcut is used here.
So what you're going to see here is each player is going to be shrooming at the start line and hoping to shroom diagonally back over the start line in midair, hitting a section of the wall and Lakitu picking him up out of bounds and dropping him back on the cart, and then the game will think that will confuse itself and register an extra lap.
I appreciate Calamity going for...
Yeah, and Matthias missing it. That's exactly what he did against Dan, yeah.
Oh, so both missing! Both missing!
Matthias doing exactly what he did against Dan.
So they're both down a shroom. Okay, Matthias got it clean. Yep, that should both be on the seam.
Both of them got it, yeah.
Oh, Calamity with a bit of a slow fall there.
And Client missing the second one. Rip. So Matthias getting the third one. I think for the... yeah, so I think Matthias will be doing the... I'm not sure whether he'll
Calamity going risky here. I love this bounce strat. All right.
Yeah, so you'll see Matthias go off the course in a second and hit the wall on the left-hand side, the valley. And that should close out the lap for him, and he does. Yeah, and registers. Oh, well, I've never seen that. I've actually never seen that alternative part from Climatee there, so very interesting.
Yeah, where you drive into the wall, hop over.
Yeah.
The YOLO jumps.
Yep. I've never seen that. I'm not very well versed in shortcut stuff, but I've never seen that. So now it'll be interesting to see where Matthias goes. All the tracks have reset now.
All the tracks are there. I think he looked really good on Wario Stadium. I could certainly see him going back to Wario Stadium.
But whether both players start to use their shortcut and flap jokers, yeah, I'm sure Chad would love to see a few more shortcuts and flap jokers.
Yeah, Chad loves the shortcuts. Like I said, I'm thinking, looking at... Ooh!
And
Chad gets their wish.
Yep. So this is another one. This is another one Matthias picked against Dan when he was down in a set, and he actually, I think he messed up the first. He messed up the first shortcut, and Dan got it clean. So it was a bit of an unfortunate pick for him, but
great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dowsy, you did a really good job explaining the last shortcut, so I'll let you take this one as well.
Alrighty, so what you're going to see the players do is do an A-B spin and come back into the cave section. So they're actually going to go backwards for the start of the lap. Then they're going to set themselves up pretty much parallel with the wall that runs adjacent with the finish line, basically. And they're going to clip through that wall slightly and go out of bounds and come and do that a couple of times. They'll register
real quick there. Matthias switching over to Peach. I'm wondering maybe if it's helpful for him for his setups. That was a real quick change there, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
So, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, so basically they're just going to clip out of bounds. They're going to clip through the wall parallel and fall into the water or fall into the cave. At the same time, they go across the finish line. So you can see that they're coming back around here. They'll just line themselves up. Climatee getting that little clip. I'm pretty sure he got that.
Yeah,
so did Matthias.
Matthias is nice enough to have his the setup there where you can see when his setup works. So you can see Matthias is now at the end of lap 1 into lap 2. Oh, Climatee falling into the water.
Yep. But still...
Oh, still certainly winnable. One miss here. Oh, ooh, that's probably going to do it. Yep. All right.
Pretty solid time there by Matthias. It's very nice. So yeah, it still works either way if you clip inside or outside that line.
All right. I do like this pick here from Climatee. We are going to head back to Calamari Desert. So you see Matthias there So you can restart. There is a quirk of the game where you can restart your time. So if you click restart while the game is transitioning out, you can. It doesn't save your time to the cartridge. So Matthias, this is not his shortcut cartridge, so he doesn't want to ruin his times there. So that's why you'll see him do a restart like that.
And the same with Climatee. I think he did the exact same thing. He reset his console.
So
can we let Matthias play blindfolded? I'm sure he'd still beat many players, I reckon. Definitely.
I don't know. Like, what track do you think he would pick? My guess is probably Luigi Raceway.
Yeah, Luigi Raceway. Yep.
I mean,
he'd still have some pretty good muscle memory, so...
Like, if you said, hey, you're gonna do that, let's have you play on PAL, because he's more comfortable on PAL, and says, let's go ahead and, you know, you get a day to practice, and then you're gonna do it blindfolded. Yep. The interesting thing there would be how he works out shrooms. So Matthias did go a little wide there after crossing the first train tracks, hit the dirt a little bit. So, but let's see where they come in. It looks pretty close. Climatee down by 0.2 right now. So.
Pretty solid lap so far by both players. I'm not sure. I couldn't remember whether Climatee had a slight advantage with the delayed start, but they look like they're both pretty much on par with their pace.
Yeah, maybe. It's looking close here. Okay, so we're about even right now. So it's gonna come down to this. Let's see. Hopefully Matthias doesn't hit the train this time.
Yep. Can't blame the controller twice in a row.
All right, clean.
Pretty safe.
So this is going to come down pretty close. I will say, Climatee was much closer to the tracks there. He was much tighter and looks to be a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I reckon he'd be probably about.
Oh, Matthias hitting the dirt there a bit. Yeah, this is going to be close, but I think, yeah, he did.
Yep.
Climatee did enough there.
Nice. So Climatee getting one back on Matthias there, very nice.
All right, where to next?
So
Matthias has decided that one Joker is not enough. We're gonna do two. We're gonna do Bowser Castle Flap. Oh, yeah, I did get that.
Which I think these were these first two. This was the first two tracks. No, it wasn't. This was another set track for Climate, but Climatee winning KD last time, and he also won Bowser's Castle last time. So.
Alright, sorry, just settling, there was a... Climatee just was making sure that it was within the rules to use both Jokers in the same set. It is. Though, again, because Bowser Castle Flap has been picked, Bowser 3 Lap cannot be picked this set. And Matthias can't pick Bowser Castle 3 Lap next set either. This is counting as that pick. The intention here is just to do that. And I'm curious if maybe Matthias picked it because he struggled with it before. He wants to take it off and wants to, you know, take that track away from Climatee. We've certainly seen that strategy before where people, if there's a track you're struggling with and you're concerned that other people are going to pick it, take it and take the flap, take some of the variants out.
Yeah.
That's what Carson did against me with Yoshi Valley when he was really struggling in our match. So it's certainly a understandable strategy.
Oh, Matthias hitting the tree. That's probably a fairly major mistake there. Definitely giving Climatee a leg up early on. Should navigate the thwomps, no problem.
Looks like Climatee, yep, so it was pretty clean there. Looks...
That might be the difference in this race. Just that one tree bonk by Matthias.
Yeah. I mean,
getting that extra MT, but he was pretty sloppy and pretty wide. I think Climatee's going to get it, yeah.
Yeah, by close to a second.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead. Climatee's spinning off the lava there. I love it. It's good to see Climatee, you know. I'm glad to see, Climatee is taking good picks here. He's chosen Moo Moo Farm. Again, another track that he won in the first set, so I think this is another good pick. So... yeah, we'll see. Both showing they're going to play pretty safe. They're not going for world record level shroom, mole cuts. They're not cutting across that first wave of moles. All right, so Climatee again with about a 0.5 second lead in the display. It seems like Matthias has already made a bit of that up. Matthias cleaner off the fence wall there. Didn't bonk it as many times, so... yeah, Matthias with the cleaner lap. 0.17 ahead.
Which is standard. They usually just touch the wall a little bit there, but...
yeah, Climatee kind of bounced off and actually...
yeah.
Oof. Matthias getting... oh no! Climatee hitting the mole there. That's...
Yep.
Alright, so Matthias just needs to be clean. Yeah, that's a 2-second time loss, and... alright, let's see here. Matthias... oh, that should be clean. That's... yeah, he goes pretty wide there. I do like Climatee. Climatee playing risky lap, the last lap. That was a weird MT at the end for Matthias. I'm not sure if that cost him any time. I'm not there. But nice clean win for Matthias. Okay, so we are at match point. So, match point to you, MR. What? So, Climatee needs to win the next 2 tracks or else he loses, and that just forces... this is the pick I've been waiting for. Matthias is heading to Sherbertland. Like I said, he's been... anybody who's been watching his streams lately know he's been grinding this, but we'll see how he does the real... what I'll be interested... oh, go ahead, Dosey.
No, I was just saying, see how aggressive he takes each crack jump.
And I think most importantly, that last penguin at the end of lap 1, if he's on good pace, has been giving him real fits the last few streams. And so it's curious to see how risky he plays with that penguin at the end of lap 3. Because even if he's playing a little more passive, you get to the point where that penguin is a real problem spot for him lately. So we'll see how that goes. If I had to pick where his most likely error is, I would say it's the last penguin at the end of lap 1. The timing for all the other penguins is a little bit...
And seeing Matthias's... he was going for fast lap attempts on Sherbertland last night, I believe it was, so in the morning for him. Having some problems jumping. He just couldn't quite get his timing right jumping over that major crack. So whether he goes safe or tries to be more aggressive, we will see for sure.
For sure. And then the other question here is, so let's say Climatee does win. Do you think he uses his last Joker to try and... Ooh, Matthias with that wall hit, so early advantage certainly going to Climatee. And I'd say Climatee was a little more aggressive on that crack jump, so definitely early advantage to Climatee here.
Yep.
And we'll see Matthias... Yeah, okay, both of them went outside of the Penguin. The world record pace, you go inside there, but it can be a little risky.
Oh, very risky, yeah, for sure.
I love to see Matthias there committing. Like, it wasn't as dangerous of a cut with that first Penguin, but I mean, he didn't shy away from it. He was not afraid of that Penguin, so that's good to see.
So Matthias, I reckon, is already catching back up from that initial mistake and very close to the inside.
Right.
The ice sheet there, so
both of them having clean, easy, no penguins here, so lap 2 is pretty nice for that at this pace, that you just don't have to deal with penguins. Okay, Matthias was a little faster there. I did miss the time. So... let's see here.
Oh, rip. That sucks. That's the... Yeah, Climatee hit the last penguin in the cave.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was gonna say...
Straight into the penguin's big fat guts, so...
All right, and so with that, all right, they are both interested in joining for a post-game interview, so let me get, I always forget, why?
Send them the...
No, yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I forget how to grab the link. I want to be better at this. Oh, you got...
Oh, there it is. I've got it.
All right, thank you for getting that. Sorry, I was... Yeah, there you go. Welcome, Climatee.
Yo.
I was...
Oh, man.
You definitely put Matthias through his paces there. Several close races. I will say, I loved you going for the YOLO swag Yoshi Valley shortcut start. That was ballsy, and I loved it.
Yep. Very nice.
I messed it up though, so I'm kind of sad.
I mean,
hey guys,
I'm happy you went for it.
GG, mate. Well done.
Matthias, great match. Good bounce back for you there. Like to see it. How was driving on NTSC? Had you practiced much, for the transition, or?
no, I haven't played it in months before today, and I warmed up for maybe 1 hour, 1-2 tries on each track, and yeah, the start was quite rough for me. I had to warm up more during the match.
I was gonna say that was definitely where it felt like. I mean, it looked like when you went into track 3, Wario Stadium. So you got your first win. It seemed like you were definitely getting more adjusted to NTSC by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, my drifts, my MTs were a bit slow in the beginning, so a bit polish.
So.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm here practicing a week in advance, and I still lose.
I mean, is there really any shame losing to the champ? I mean, you took you took two sets off. I mean, 2 tracks off of him each set. I mean, you had the lead several times. Like you played really well. I mean, we were joking about it.
Yeah, Luke played very well on a few tracks and really good times, and I was down 0-2 twice, so I had to come back in set 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not too
That
easy.
is true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
don't feel bad. And hey, this past weekend I blew a 3-0 lead, so don't feel bad.
Mm.
Oh, I've definitely done that a few times.
But I will say, and Climatee, the other thing is we were looking on your Rainbow Road, you hit 2 chain chomps, and you were still 2 seconds faster than my PB. So, you know, take some solace in your
Happens.
driving, my friend.
Yep.
So
So Climate, have you done much NTSC stuff before in the past, or just minor things?
I was mainly an NTC player until about 4 months ago.
Okay, then made the
So-
switch. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now-
you're probably more practicing NTSC overall than Matthias, maybe.
I wouldn't go that far. Matthias has been playing since 2008. Am I right? Or
Yeah,
earlier than
I
that.
started on NTSC in 2014, and then I switched
Okay.
back and forth a couple of times. I mean,
Yep.
NTSC takes maybe 10-15% of my playing time, but the more you switch, the more often you switch back and forth, the easier it goes.
So he still has like 4 years at least on me in NTSC.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. That's just me being a noob and not quite knowing.
now, Climatee, did you pick your shortcut Yoshi Valley? Was that kind of your pre-planned coming in, like with a game plan? That was the track I was going to pick.
I
or
just
was it?
thought the shock factor would be enough to get me the win, but
I think
didn't
because I was going to say because
I
Matthias
was shocked, yeah.
I was gonna say because Matthias did struggle a little bit with that last week, and I assume I think it's a safe bet to say he hasn't practiced that timing on PAL. So I thought, on NTSC, I thought it was a really good pick. So I just wasn't sure if you'd practiced and said, "Oh, this is what I'm going to bring."
Yeah,
it wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah, he caught me by surprise, definitely, and I missed the first jump, but he missed more and didn't go for the alternative one. He
Right.
stuck there with a YOLO jump over the fence.
I went for the only good shortcut on that track. The other one sucks. It's
Okay,
boring.
you go down with some pride, yeah.
Yeah.
and Climatee as well. My heart definitely goes out for you on Benchy Boardwalk when you pause. You're just like, oh, like I could definitely see that momentary pause where you're just sitting there, like on the pause screen. You're like, I wasn't supposed to do that. So, it is interesting. As often as we're grinding, we don't.
Yeah, it's a habit,
we
yeah.
restart. We restart so reflexively. And that's definitely probably one of my prouder things for this whole league so far is I haven't done the reflex pause yet, but I certainly don't fault anybody who does because I don't know how many times I've paused this game because I've fallen into the water.
Yeah. What I noticed on my shortcut pick on DKJP, by the way, is that NTSC time trials, especially that shortcut, feels much closer for me or much more familiar because of the skips tournament we had. So
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
that makes
much
sense.
more used to that from 150cc NTSC than I am on PAL. And last week
Yep.
I was miserable there, and today was natural for me.
Yeah.
Matthias, was your Bowser Castle pick? Was that a strategy of saying I don't really want to play Bowser Castle because I was struggling with it, or was it a counter pick so that you took it away from the set, or was it a power pick? It's like I think I've got this.
Yeah, usually I really like to pick it on PAL matches, and I was upset about my performance on the 3-lap earlier in the match. So I thought, okay, maybe he's not that comfortable with the track, or Flap is a bit of a surprise. But yeah, it was a counter punch for me because I messed up. I
And
was
it
a bit
didn't pay off,
stubborn,
unfortunately. Yeah.
and I didn't want to realize that didn't have the form on NTSC there.
Right, that's
Yep.
what I was going to say because I think that's definitely one of the things people will do is that I've enjoyed seeing this whole league is the flap joker. I think added a lot where if there's a track you're struggling with, you can drop the flap and try and win and take away some of the variance. I definitely think that's one of the strategies I've seen used a couple of times, which is pretty cool to see how the league has evolved, how people are using their jokers.
Yeah, you can use the flap joker as a veto for 3 lap later in that set or next 2
Right,
sets.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts or comments about your match? How are you guys? I mean, you guys had several. I think you had 3 tracks that were within 1.5 of each other. So you guys were, or 0.15 of each other. I mean, so it was a lot of close races back and forth. Any ones that, Climatee, anyone that you were particularly happy with, like, or surprised taking off of Matthias either way?
I was surprised about Moo Farm. I mean, I got like a near 112 with completely safe strats, which is really surprising to me because I think my 112.88 on NTC, I had to go aggressive for the shrooms, so that was really surprising to me. Also, I got a 144 60 with 102 on Kalmar Desert, which is kind of insane.
Yeah. And it's too bad you couldn't use that the second time, coming back there. That's always the interesting thing when the first time you have an amazing race and then you go back and your opponent makes a pretty big blunder. I would say hitting the train is a pretty big blunder for Matthias. And you go back and it's a super tight race and you're just like, why couldn't I have gotten that time that I had before that was a little wasted?
Yeah.
So
for your upcoming matches next, Matthias, you have Zoran, and Xander, you have VAJ. What are your thoughts on those matches coming up?
Did someone say Xander?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, you're not Xander. You're Luke. Jaden, sorry, you've got Jaden.
You need more coffee, my friend.
Yeah, I know, it's early.
Yeah,
So,
my
yeah,
thoughts
Matthias.
on Zoki is that it was my second. Oh no, you could say it was my closest match because that one against Dan was not even close. So
Yeah,
sure.
on PAL we had a similar scoreline than or like as today. So yeah, looking forward to that because we both have NTSC consoles for a couple of years now, and I don't know if Zoki will practice a lot, but there's more variance on NTSC for me at least. So yeah, looking forward to that. It will be fun.
Now, are you hoping to have your and Zoki's match here on SpeedGaming, at least on one of the SpeedGamings?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yep. And
What about you, Luke?
Climate, you'll be against Jaden, so that's 11 versus 10 or 11, or 11 versus 12. So that'll be a very tight match. Although Jaden's not quite as practiced at NTSC as he is with the Power Console.
Well, it's about to be 13 versus 11 because Kaiman is not above me now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Bummer. And you beat Jaden in the PAL matchup earlier on. Barely, yeah.
Hey,
yeah, so you're looking to get one back on him for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys go all the way to a? I didn't see that match. Did you guys make it to a set 5 track 7?
Yeah, I believe so.
Those are set 5 track 7s are hype.
They are.
Yeah.
Not for me though. I was too nervous, but I still won. So
apparently not too nervous.
If you're not nervous on that track, on the last track, then something's wrong, or you are a robot.
True.
Yeah.
So Matthias, we know you're not nervous then, because as the community knows, you're a robot.
Right.
No.
It's hard for Matthias to get nervous.
Negative.
It's hard for Matthias to get nervous when he never gets to set 5 track 7. So
well, right now Matthias,
it has happened
last season.
Oh, right, nice.
I won it against Dan, but it happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Current Matthias is all about efficiency. He wants to be done in 3 sets. He either wants to win or lose as fast as possible.
That's right.
Okay. Good analysis. Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody. So for those that aren't aware, we so Dowsey, did we convince you, or did you hear coming back for as long as you can on commentary with me in 3 hours?
Yeah, I
So
will.
we've got a jam-packed day of Mario Kart here. So over on SpeedGaming 5 is currently where it's set up. That's correct, Matthias, right? That's what the schedule says. That's correct.
Yeah, I think they moved it to SG5. Yeah.
Yeah. So over on SG5, we've got in Division B, the number 1 and 2 players coming in Division B, Alex versus Xander. So that's 2 versus 1. So Xander is number 1, Alex is number 2. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So in just about 3 hours, you'll get Dowsey and me hosting again. And then right after that, we've got a double header where I will be competing against Clayton in Division 3. So a jam-packed day of Mario Kart here. So looking forward to it.
And then straight after that match against Alex and Xander, I think I have my match against Brad, but not on SG because we're both on different consoles. So there's a fair bit happening. Yeah, fair bit happening.
So Dowsey, you have NTSC, right?
I do have NTSC, yes.
There are murmurs. There are murmurs that we're going to make playoffs be NTSC.
Well, then I forfeit.
That's no fun. That's fair. That's fair.
I'd be competitive enough, but I'm not nearly as practiced as well.
No, understood. Well, just because the thought there is it'd be nice to be able to have it on stream, but we'll talk.
Yeah.
So for those that may or may not have heard, Division 3 has decided we haven't gotten enough. We've enjoyed this league so much, and some of us want grudge matches. We're going to do a quick playoffs, and we're going to get a trophy and things. It's going to be pretty exciting. So hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of that in late December, doing playoffs for Division 3. So, all right. Well, everybody, thank you so very much for your time today. Looking forward to it. Is there? I should have looked to see. I don't know if there is a next. What's next on Speed Gaming 4? I apologize. I should have seen that. But thank you everybody for your time. Anybody else have any last thing they need to say?
MJ's a chump.
Fair enough.
All right. See you next time.
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
No worries, guys.
Bye-bye.
Well done.